students. In today's lecture, I'm going to talk about the calculation of the probabilities. As in previous lecture, I told you something about probability, that basically probability is chance of happening an event. Okay. It can be a chance or an event. Sometimes an event can be certain, okay, or sometimes like there is not uncertainty in that event. So accordingly, we need to check if the certain event is being given. So probability is 1. But if the event is not certain, we're not sure about that event, like it will happen or not. So for that directly, you can say that probability is 0. Probability always lies in between 0 to 1. Okay, your total probability is always basically going to add up to 1. But for example, if they gave the probability of happening an event and they're asking that you need to find out the probability of not happening an event, so you can simply subtract the probability from 1. Okay, so this was very simple probability that we discussed in the previous exercise. You can check the previous video for like this very simple probability introduction. Now we are going to work with calculation of the probability. For that, we are going to use this expression. You can say that basically it's going to give us the probability. Whenever we are just talking about an event, so there is basically, for example, a certain event is being given and they gave us some probabilities and some possibilities are there. So the number of possibilities, or you can say the trials, you can just write under that, and the success is basically related to where you are interested in. For example, if I'm just talking about a six-sided dice, I know that the possibilities on that are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total 6 possibilities are there. So these are basically called n. Okay. N possibilities are like number of possibilities are going to be n. And if we will be talking about the success S means where you are interested. For example, if I want to find out that if I'm having a six-sided dice and I'm flipping it once, so how many times I'm going to get 3? How many times I'm going to get 5? How many times I'm going to get 2? That is basically your success. For example, I want to find out that how many times I'm going to get 3. So in 6, from these 6 values, only one time there is the possibility that I'm going to get 3. So that is basically your success. Okay, so if I will be finding out the probability for getting 3, it will be 1 over 6. 6 are the total possibilities, and from these total possibilities, or you can say from the total 6 trials, we have only one success. So that's why 1 over 6 will be your probability. Okay. So that's why they gave us the probability of the success is S over N. So N is basically your outcomes, your total equal outcomes. And for the S, basically this represents your S, success. Okay. So accordingly, we are going to start the exercise next. So let's work on with this exercise 14.1b. In the first question, they're saying in this exercise, all dice are fair six-sided with faces number 1 to 6. Whenever they're talking about a fair dice, you need to consider fair ones like six-sided dice from numbers 1 up to 6. Okay. So starting with the first question, in the first question, they're saying a fair six-sided dice is rolled once. So we need to find the ability of these. Okay. First of all, if we will be finding out like how many trials are being given. So if fair dice is being rolled, so the possibilities will be basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Total possibilities are basically 6, n is 6. Now success will be A, B, C, D according to these events. So A part is this, that we need to find out the probability of getting a 6. Okay. So probability of getting a 6. How many times we can get a 6? We only get one time 6 out of, like, if one times only the roll, like the dice has been rolled. So 1 out of 6. This is basically the probability for A part. Next, for the B part, getting an even number. Probability of an even number. So if you want to find out the probability of an even number, total trials are again 6. Okay, they're not going to change. So even numbers are 2, 4, 6. These three are basically the even numbers. So how many even numbers we got? 3 even numbers out of total 6. Even you can simplify this a bit. Like if I will simplify, so it will be, just a minute. So simplification for 3 over 6 will look like 3 1 times 3 and 3 2 times 6. So probability of getting an even number is basically 1 over 2. So next, part number C, they give us that a number greater than that of 3. So number greater than 3. So for this, for example, if I need to find out the ability of greater than 3 number. So how many numbers we have greater than 3? These are 3 numbers like 4, 5, 6. 3 numbers out of total again 6 numbers. Okay, 6 total possibilities are there and 3 numbers we are getting that are greater than that of 6. So again we will simplify. So it will be 1 by 2. It's your part number C. Moving towards the part number D, here they're saying a 3 or a 5 probability of getting 3 or 5. So probability of 3 or 5. So one thing more I want to tell you over here, that when we are talking about the probability, if we are getting the word or, basically there are two rules, or rule and rule. If they have been given us the or rule, that means that the two probabilities that we are finding, we need to add them. Or is for addition. And if they gave us the word and in between two possibilities, so we need to go on with multiplication. Okay. So for or we need to go on by addition, and for and we will be going on with multiplication. Okay, so this rule as well is important. So we need to find the ability of getting a 3 or 5. So getting a 3 probability is basically like only one times we can get 3, right? And if we will be talking about getting the probability for y, sorry, for 5, that as well is 1, right? So for this one, if we want to find out ability of getting 3 or 5, so 1 over 6 is probability for getting a 3 plus 1 over 6 as well is probability of getting a 5. So due to this or, I'm just going to add them up, okay? So 1 over 6 and 1 over 6, this will be basically 2 over 6. And if I will simplify, it will be 1 over 3. So this is basically the ability of getting a 3 or a 5, okay? So first one question is complete. Next, moving towards the second question. So in second part, what they gave us, that the two-sided dice, no, sorry, the two sides of a coin are known as head and tail. So a 10C and 5C coin are tossed at the same time. We need to first of all list all possible outcomes in a sample space diagram. Like your A part is consisting of making of the diagram, sample space diagram. Okay, and next we need to find out these probabilities. Okay, so first of all, if two coins have been given and they're just tossing about like two times, like two sides of the coin, head and tail, and two coins we have, one is 10C and one is 5C. So let's make the sample diagram. First of all, that is basically the part number A. Okay, I'm going to make a sample diagram. For making the sample diagram for the coins, so you can just use the tree method as well, and there is another method that is basically a box diagram. So both methods are simple, but here mostly in the like the questions that we will be having after that, like 3 possibilities of the coin, 4 tossing coins. So we will be, it's better if we will use the tree diagram, because again we will use the tree diagram for these as well. Okay, so I will show you the both diagrams. First of all, I'm going on with the tree diagram. Okay, tree diagram. We need to first check that if two coins are being tossed, so how many total possibilities will be there. So for example, my first coin, that is basically 10C coin. So it's having basically two possibilities, head and tail. Okay, this is 10C, but there is another coin that is being tossed, 5C coin. So we will be just making two possibilities furthermore for 5C coin. With every possibilities, you will draw two more. So head, tail, head, and tail. In this way, the possibilities will become 4. Like you can check the possibilities will be first probability or possibility will be head, head, then head, tail, then tail, head, tail and tail. So this is basically your tree diagram. If I will be talking about the box diagram, for this you can draw some boxes here, and in these boxes I'm going to basically make up the possibilities here. Okay. For example, we have two coins. One is 10C and one is 5C. So here I'm writing the possibilities for 10C that are head and tail. Okay, first we can write the head, head and tail. Here as well I'm writing head and tail. One is for 10C coin, one is for 5C coin. Okay, so accordingly, first possibility is head, head. Next is head and tail. Tail and head, tail and tail. So in this way, you can make the box diagram as well. So both methods are fine. Whatsoever you are finding easier, you can go with. This is basically called the box diagram. So my sample diagram is basically done. Just one diagram you need to pick up whatsoever is easy for you. And next, this is completely your A part. Okay. B part is this, that we need to find the probability of obtaining two heads. Probability of obtaining two heads. Now, if I will see the total number of trials from these 1, 2, 3, 4, my total number of trials are 4. And if I want to probability of getting two heads, only one time I'm getting two heads. So otherwise I'm getting only one head. So that's why two heads I'm getting only one time out of total 4 possibilities. So this is your probability of getting two heads. Okay. Next is second part, and this one was B part number 1. In second part, they're saying we need to find out the probability of getting a head and a tail. Probability of getting head and tail. So again, the total possibilities are 4. And for head and tail, this is head and tail, this is tail and head. Like tail and head is also considering as head and tail. Okay. So two possibilities are there where we are getting head and tail as well. So we got 2/4 that we can simplify a bit. That will be 1/2. Okay. So this is basically your probability according to two coins that are being tossed at the same time. You can first make the sample diagram. You can check that how many total possibilities are there and what are the possibilities. Using those possibilities, you can just draw your sample diagram and giving the answer for the different possibilities. Okay. It's your completely part number 2. Moving towards part number 3. In this, they're saying a bag contains 6 red balls and 4 green balls. So find the ability of selecting at random a red ball and a green ball. Okay. So basically for part number 3, they gave us red and green balls. So red balls, if we will be talking about, there are 6, and the green balls that they gave us are 4. If I will be talking about the total balls, because we must know the total probability, only then we will divide it further. So 6 plus 4 will be 10. Okay, total possibility or probability we got. Now in the A part, what they said that in the first part we need to find the ability of selecting a red ball. Probability of red ball. So first we need to check that how many balls are there, because if 6 balls are being given in a box and we need to pick up randomly one ball, so we don't know that from all 6 ball which one's red ball I'm going to pick up. Okay, so all red balls will be included for finding the probability of one red ball. So 6 balls are there, they are red, and total how many balls? 10. So 6 by 10 is the probability. Even you can simplify like to 3 times and to 5 times. So probability of selecting a red ball is 3/5. Okay. Moving towards the part number 2, we need to go with probability of selecting a green ball. So how many green balls are there this time? 4 green balls out of total 10. So 2 times 4 and 5 times 10. So 2/5 is basically the probability of selecting a green ball. So completely A part is done. Next, moving towards the B part. In this, they're saying one red ball is removed from the bag. So if one red ball is being removed, now the red balls will be remaining 5, and green balls will be similar. Green balls will be 4. So now your total balls will be changed. There will be 5 plus 4, 9. So according to this concept, now we need to find out the possibilities. So A part, they gave us the first part. Okay. In the first part, we need to find the probability of getting a red ball. Probability of red ball. How many red balls we have this time? 5 red balls out of total 9. This can't be simplified. You can leave it like this. Next is probability of getting a green ball. So green ball basically they are again 4 green balls out of total 9. So 4 over 9 is the probability of getting a green ball. So in this way, if they're saying that some of the things are get like we have taken out of the bag or the box, so you can just subtract them from the total probability, and accordingly you can check that how we can find out the rest probability. Okay, so this is completely your part number 3. Hope so this you understood. Next, moving towards the fourth part. So in fourth part, what they gave that one letter is being selected at random from the word unnecessary, and we need to find the probability of selecting an R, an E, an O, and an C. Okay. So first of all, if we will be going to check the total letters, how many are being given. So total letters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 total letters are being given. Okay. So in A part, we need to find out ability of getting an R. How many times we got an R? So over here, one time we only got an R out of total 11. So 1 over 11. B part is probability of getting an E. Okay. So how many times we got an E? We have 1 over here and 1 over here. So 2 over 11. Next, part number C. C part is probability of getting an O. So O is not there, so probability will be 0 for this because this is not like the part of these words. So that's why the probability of the O will be 0. Next D part is that we need to find the probability of getting a C. So how many times we got a C? Only one time we got a C out of total 11. So these are the probability according to this. Okay. This is you completely part number 4. Moving towards part number 5. In this, they're saying that 3 coins are being tossed at the same time. So this time we need to go with the possibilities of the 3 coins tossing. Okay. So we need to find the ability of obtaining 3 heads, 2 tails, 1 head, 2 heads and 1 tail, no heads, at least 1 head. So for all of these possibilities, first of all, we need to complete the tree diagram. Okay, that will be related to your 3 coins tossing probability. So if you will be first completing that, then only you can better find out the possible outcomes whatsoever they're asking for. So let's go on with 3 coins tossing probability. So first coin tossing probability you can represent like this, head and tail. Again, I'm using a tree diagram. Next, with this as well, again you can draw head, tail. This is your coin number 1. This is your coin number 2. Again, for with this as well, you can draw head and tail. But as they gave us 3 coins tossing probability, so we will just extend this furthermore. Head, tail. With every possibility, every branch, you will just extend it further with two possibilities. Head, tail, head and tail. Like this. So this is your third coin. So 3 coin possibilities we have done. Now we will draw the possible outcomes. This is just a tree diagram that is going to help us out to find out the possibilities or the possible outcomes. So after that, you can just pick up that how many possible outcomes are there. First possible outcome is head, 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 head. Next is head, head, tail. Starting from the very start, and you need to go within the branch like this, then like this. So head, tail, head. Next is head, tail, tail, head, tail, tail. Next is tail, head, head, tail, head, head. Next is tail, head, tail, like this. Next, tail, tail, head. And last but not the least is tail, tail, tail. So there is another way as well, finding the total possible outcomes, like they're talking about three coins. So you can use this formula as well, 2 power n. Basically, at the place of n, you can just write down the possibilities whatsoever they give. For example, they're talking about three coins. So 2 power 3 gives you 8. So count the possibilities: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Total number of trials are basically 8. But as we for finding the other possibilities as well, we need to just want these possible outcomes. For that, we will use the tree diagram as well. So for this question, we have done the tree diagram and the possible outcomes. Now we will going to find out the probabilities one by one. A probability is that we need to find out the probability of getting 3 heads. Probability of 3 heads. So how many times we are getting 3 heads? We only got one time 3 head, rest all are either 2 or either 1. So 3 heads we are getting only one times out of total 8 possibilities. 8 are the total trials, okay? Next B part is probability of getting 2 heads and 1 tail. 2 heads and 1 tail right here, okay? One is this, 2 heads, 1 tail, 2 heads, 1 tail. Yeah, just 3. So 3 out of 8. C is no heads. Probability of no heads. So rest all of these are having the heads. Only one probability is there, or possibility is there, where there is no head when we have all 3 tails. So 1 out of 8. Now D1 is probability of at least one head. At least one head. So at least one head, we have head, 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 head in all of these. Okay, just one is there where we don't have the head. So that's why 7 out of 8 we have the at least one head. Like there can be more than one as well, but at least one head must be there. Okay. So this is your completely part number 5, where we were asked about the probability according to the 3 possible outcomes of the coin. First, we have gone with the tree diagram. And then after completing the sample space or sample diagram, we have just got all of the probabilities. Okay, so hope so this part as well is clear. Now moving towards part number 6. So in part number 6, they're saying a bag contain 10 red balls, 5 blue balls, 7 green balls. So we need to first go with the total balls. We have 10 red, 5 blue, 7 green. Okay. So 10 and 5 will be 15. And in 15, if we will add 7, 22 balls. After finding the total balls, we will first of all find out the probability of getting a red ball. Probability of getting a red ball. So how many times we got a red ball? 10 red balls are there out of total, 10 red balls are there out of total 22 balls. Okay. If you want to simplify, you can do, or mostly in the probabilities, we no need to go with the simplifications. Okay. So if you want to go, you can go with the simplification as well, to 5 times and to 11 times. Next, part number B, we need to go with probability of getting a green ball. So we have 7 green balls out of total 22 balls. Next, part number C, probability of a blue or red ball. Now here we need to use the OR rule. And OR rule, I told you that we need to add. And what we will add? Probability of getting a blue ball and a red ball. So probability of getting a blue ball is like 5 blue balls are there out of total 22. And how many red balls are there? 10 red balls are there out of total 22. Now 10 plus 5, this will be 15 over 22. So we added the two probabilities In this way, we got 15 over 22. That is probability of getting a blue or a red ball. Next, we have part number D. In this, they said that probability of getting a red or green ball. Again, they gave us the word or over here. So red ball probability is 10 over 22. And the green ball probability, green balls are 7 over 22. So 10 plus 7 will be 17 over 22. So 17 over 22 are the green balls. So this is completely your part number 6.